Welcome to QPF, or otherwise known as A Quiet Place for Friends. I'm your host, Sinn0h, and I'm joined with my friend. Would you like to introduce yourself?
I'm Max.
And thank you guys so much for coming back today for this evening's or this morning's or whatever time it is for you for today's podcast. And I just woke up, so that's why I probably sound all stupid. Sorry for not making one for about a week. That's just because we've both been busy and, well, we just needed to think of the next topic, so we decided to put forward bullying. I thought that would be a great topic, because I think all of us have experienced being bullied, and at the same time, I think it'd be a crime if anyone said that they, at any point, had not, to an extent, bullied someone else.
It's a crime.
But then again, it comes to your kind of definition and how you see the word bullying, because some people will take a one-time incident as bullying, yet others, obviously, it's a recurring incident. Me, personally, it's something that is a recurring incident. I mean, if someone punches you once, it's not considered bullying. Yeah, but, so we're going to be, I guess, talking about that. We also just want to thank you guys so much for all the love and support for the previous podcast, and at the end, we're going to be actually reading and responding to some of the comments that were made on the last topic, which was loneliness that we did with Elvis. So, I guess, yeah, bullying. Do you want to kick off the bandwagon, MamaMax?
Bullying. What should I say about bullying?
You tell me.
Okay, bullying. Well, I was bullied quite a bit throughout elementary school and intermediate school and middle school. For most people, they didn't have intermediate school. That was just 5th and 6th grade for me. But yeah, through up till around 9th grade, I'd say, was when I was bullied. And not just physically bullied. Obviously, like, I do a video about... I just made the video about it, by the way, about bullying, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
Since we're talking about it today. But yeah, I was psychologically tormented as well. So yeah, there you go.
Oh, yeah. I guess for me personally, it's kind of like, I think it's interesting because lately I've been getting a bit of flack on, I guess, YouTube, and I think it's for the most same with a recurring thing, and I don't consider that at all bullying, but like, in real life, in terms of that, I haven't actually really... I guess I have to an extent, yeah, because I'm a really different person from a lot of my friends, and my interests are quite different, and whether it be my interests in, like, music or sociality, it's very different from a lot of my friends, so usually when we're just joking around, then they use that a lot, I guess, as a way to get to me. Obviously, they're joking, and I think there's kind of a fine line between joking or like insulting comedy or joking with insults and like seriously bullying someone. Like in case of like Keemstar was extremely... He felt like he was being assaulted or bullied by Colossal for Colossal calling him a gnome for like 3 months. So it really depends how you constitute it. I mean, that in that case, obviously it was ironic humor, and Colossal obviously was doing it for entertainment purposes, but for Keemstar, I guess, even to that extent, I can slightly sympathize for him. But other than that, like, on the other like side of the coin, you have bullying other people, and to be perfectly honest, at some point, it'd be, as I said, I don't think many people can go without saying that they have at some point bullied someone. And whether it can be like, I feel like in high school, there was always that one kid that was just so whatever cringy, or it's just, just shut up. It's like, whatever, you know what I'm saying? It's like, just shut up.
Yes, that was me.
The thing is, that person was a genuinely nice guy. They're genuinely kind. They're just fucking annoying, and they, you know, he just has a chin that looks like the size of a fucking house. All right, and he was really posh and everything. He was a perfectly fine guy, really clever, really smart, but just shut up. So, yeah. And the thing in that context is that there's obviously, as I said, a time where joking and like that kind of way, it's perfectly fine. There are certain contexts where, yeah, it's okay and it's appropriate, but like, there's obviously a line where you need to hold up to and know that there are certain boundaries you can't cross, otherwise it's actual bullying. So we're not saying that you can't go ahead and call someone a faggot. We're just saying that, like, there's a fine line of when to stop it and when the appropriate situation of calling said person a faggot is, right?
Right.
And that was kind of like in high schooling for me. It was kind of like, oh, there was just one person. We just shut up. It's just, you're a fag. And obviously we're not, I guess, homophobes in any way, shape, or form. But the word fag, it was like there before it meant gay people. You love is love, right? But he's just a fag, you know? Like, but that's pretty much on that case. I mean, how would you deal, what were the kind of psychological repercussions of being bullied? Like, what did that, how did that make you feel? What kind of mental states were you in?
Okay, so there was one instance of bullying that happened where my friend was being bullied into bullying me. So his bully, yeah, his bully was like threatening to kill his dog if he didn't bully me. So then my friend would start like shoving me around and being mean to me. So that way, because the school that I went to, it's supposed to be an academically good school, but people have been killed at that school.
Wow.
Several times, and it's like, oh, it's just I don't know what's the problem there. There's a lot of drug dealing going on in that school too, so that might have to do with it. But
yeah, wow,
there was a lot of bad stuff. So yeah, he had to bully me, and then I was being bullied by my own friend, and then in turn we were no longer friends because of that. Even though I didn't know the situation until years later in high school.
Jesus.
So yeah, for me, so it kept friends away from me. It not to mention that most of my bullies were popular kids, so anytime I was being bullied by them, people who were my peers and also my friends would be on their side because they didn't want to be on my side, the losing side, the weak side, the humiliated side, if you will. You get what I'm saying?
And the thing is that, like, it's hard in that case. It's kind of a grey area because you say, well, are you really my friend or not? And then you also consider the fact that they are being peer pressured, and it's like, it's as if they can't, take the action to do whatever, if they're your friend, then logic would think, yeah, they're going to stand up for me. I mean, why would my own friend, person I consider as a friend, go out of their own way and let someone peer pressure them? So I could see, like, you must have been obviously conflicted, like, is this person really my friend or not? But then you're also considering, like, well, I got to give them some leeway because their dog's being threatened, to die. So it's kind of this grey area. So, I mean, in that case, it'd be interesting. I think initially I'd feel really angry and upset with the friend, but I guess over time I would understand that it was almost as if they didn't have a choice. But
the thing with the dog, though, I didn't know about that up until high school. Back in middle school, I had no idea about any of that. I thought he was just bullying me just because he wanted to,
Yeah. Wow. That is, that's really annoying. And I guess when it comes to, like, dealing with being bullied, it's always about loving yourself, honestly. Like, there are just some people in life that are just going to hate you for no apparent reason, right? They're just going to find the smallest things to hate on you about, and at the end of the day, you're only human, right? Unless you're FusiTube. Fuck FusiTube. But what I'm just saying is that, look, everyone has at least one person that hates them for no reason, right?
Right.
And if you don't, you're extremely lucky. But I guess in my case, I've been getting quite a bit of flack recently because of, I guess, people aren't enjoying, like, say, quality standards of my videos, and that's perfectly fine, and I wholeheartedly take that criticism, right? so yeah, I've been spending more time and whatever. But you also got to consider, like, if you are being bullied, if you are being targeted, if you are being insulted at, it's important that you don't instantly blame anyone else. But you first of all just think, well, what have I done to get to where I am at this moment? I mean, what has caused people to feel this negativity towards me? And if you come to the realization that you haven't even done anything, then of course ignore those people. I mean, you don't need those people in your life. But it's important that you
sometimes it's not even your fault.
You gotta, but yeah, and it's just important that at first you self-evaluate, right?
Of course.
And I guess the thing is, when it comes to bullying, it's just that you gotta always love yourself, as I said. You just gotta always know that you're in control and you're always going to be there for yourself. You always have family. I mean, whether you're not in a situation like that, as I said, counselors, even like school counselors, really help in that case. But yeah, and as I said, so it's about self-evaluating if you've done anything to get to this point in time. And it's also about going ahead and just seeking out anyone possible, really. And yeah, I guess that's kind of in that case. Is there anything else we really gotta outline? Anything else you want to chuck in the
I think there's
loop?
Yeah, I think there's something that needs to be understood for a lot of people. Something that I didn't really understand up until middle school was that, and they kind of explain this in middle school anyways, but whenever someone is bullying you, they are bullying you because they have something essentially bullying them, whether it be abusive parents or abusive siblings or unrelieved stress,
or jealousy.
Or jealousy. There's all kinds of things that someone will bully you for. So don't just look at it as a hateful act from another person, because that's not all it is. I mean, it could just be that people are ostracizing you for the very fact that that's kind of how evolution works, where the strong will try to push you out and you gotta just push back, I guess. But when it comes to that, you have to either better yourself, ignore it, or get help, like help from friends or help from a teacher, because I understand, like we will all, like who's someone we will all like, a lot of us will simply gang up on someone, such as like Leafy, because after Items pounded him to the ground, he's now an easy target to bully, even though I personally think he kind of deserves it, because that's what he's been doing all these years. Maybe not years, but this past year was just fucking. Items did exactly what he was doing to others, except Items did it in a smart way.
Oh yeah, and the thing is that, sorry, that we're talking about now. It's kind of annoying, because as soon as Leafy is then thrown under the bus, then all of these commentator channels then start making videos about him, right? I mean, I love all the commentators in this genre. Honestly, I really do. But it's kind of as saddening, and it's quite low. And this is coming from the guy that's made, like, his 3 most viral videos have Leafy in the title, right? It's kind of sad that if you've been going ahead and sucking him off for all this time, and then as soon as he's thrown under the bus, then you go ahead and pounce on him, like... Yeah. I mean, such is the nature of, society and human evolution, that I guess that happens. But it's just, I mean, have some integrity. Like, stick to the words you're going to say. I mean, if you're going to like him. And if it's only, like, for example, why are people unsubscribing from Leafy only now? I mean, why did it take another person to say something that was already in front of your eyes? You just had to make the autonomous opinion, right?
I think that goes a little into what I was saying before about picking the side that's winning. Yeah. Whereas, like, the friends that I had would go to the bully side because they were the popular one. They were the one winning against me, if you will. Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, oh, for God's sake, yeah. That's a whole different box of frogs, right? But, yeah, in the terms of, I guess, bullying and stuff, it's just,
try to be autonomous. And if you're a bystander, right, and you're seeing someone be bullied, I mean, unless they're look, I'm trying to say this as well as I can. If you are a bystander and you're just seeing someone being bullied and you legitimately think it is bullying, right? It's not kind of satirical or insulting someone for like entertainment purposes. Oh, well, when I say entertainment, I mean for for comedy purposes, right? If you actually think someone's in genuine danger, whether it be like online or whatever, just don't just sit around and do something. And it's easy to do that, right? It's easy just to not be involved with something that, couldn't possibly involve you, but it would mean a lot if, it'd go a whole long way if you're a bystander and you see someone that's under, physical burden or psychological burden by someone else, but to just take the action, right? It's hard. It is definitely a hard call, but if you do it, you are a genuinely brave and courageous person in my eyes.
Of course.
Yeah, so I think that's pretty much that on bullying. I think we're going to go ahead and read a few of our beautiful comments that we got up. Now, some of these are from obviously the last podcast, and some of these are just rather kind of statements. Others are questions. So why don't I'll go ahead and check those up. Okay, here's the first question. Someone by the name of Anonymous 2016, and he says, or she says, "Hey, I have a problem, but it's not all about loneliness, but I don't think it's a good idea to talk about it with anyone in real life, so that's why I'm posting it here. I don't really know how to explain it, but sometimes something in my head is telling me to hurt someone, but I don't want to do that, and I hoped it would go away, but it hasn't, and feels like it's only getting stronger. Some days I luckily am not bothered by it, but it feels like it's only getting worse, and I don't really know what to do about it." Wow. Okay. Well, you can go ahead and...
So they want to hurt someone because of loneliness, or is it just...
He says that it's not... He says he has a problem. It's not about loneliness, but he didn't think it was a good idea to post it anywhere else other than here because he feels like this is a quiet place for friends.
He just feels like hurting someone. Okay. If it has anything to do with like teenage angst, or or for me, like you'll see like Rice Gum fans being absolute retards, you want to hurt them, then I can understand that. If it goes further than that, where you just want to hurt animals and innocent people, that is time for a therapist or psychologist.
Yeah,
Please try to take care of that.
Yeah, and first of all, like, I know it's when we just say just see a psychologist, it's so much easier said than done, right?
It is. That is true.
But if you're in the case where you feel borderline homicidal, seriously, it's not even like you just got to do it. You just really have to take the step forward and see someone. All right, it's because in that case, I mean, yeah, it's important that you just see, whether it's, as I said, a counselor or anything, but that course of action needs to be taken because that behavior is unsafe, right? And we would hate anyone to just be collateral damage in something that was maybe a psychotic episode or whatever. But don't worry, we're all here for you, and everyone in the comment section is there for you. What did you want to say?
If it's any consolation, the trade-off is an hour doing research on who to talk to and where to go to see a therapist versus many years in prison for doing something that could have potentially been prevented if you had done that. So
yeah,
it really just takes up to a few hours to find out what to do next.
That's a very good point. Next one comes from Sammy, and I don't know, he or she says, "I'm seriously suffering from this. I legit have no one cares. I feel so down and so sad and lonely. It sucks so much. These podcasts really seriously help me for a little 20 to 30 minutes. I have some people to listen to who can relate to me, and I know I need to be more optimistic and tell myself those things you said, Sinn0h. Thank you guys so much. My loneliness and depression has gotten so much worse over the months. I just feel lost. But this really pushes me to get out of bed and keep my chin up. Mama Max, love heart. Aww.
Oh, first of all, I just want to say that's wonderful to hear that it sounds like you're improving, or at least trying to improve, that we're helping out. I just want to say that is so awesome to hear.
That's
okay. Just want to say that real quick.
These comments really do make this whole thing worthwhile. And seriously, wow. Legitting having no one or no one cares. Well, we do definitely care. Alright, and if that means anything, then we'd be more than happy to talk to you in Twitter DMs or, you know, whatever it takes, because we genuinely do care for you guys, right? So go ahead and send a PM our way and we'll chat to you in DMs or whatever. But I'm pretty sure I'd like to say, as I said, everyone in the comment section has your back, right? And this isn't a place of immature behavior. I mean, anyone that does it gets instantly fucking destroyed by 200 replies.
Destroyed.
Just like annihilated. So everyone in the comment section has you, Sammy. We love you very much, and thank you for commenting. All right, this is the third one.
And just so you know, we know what it's like to have like no one, where we
really
feel like
do,
no
it
one
just
cares.
feels like. All right, here's our third last comment. I recently have gotten diagnosed with anxiety, and I have been following this podcast. I just wanted to say that I really like what you guys are doing here. There aren't a lot of places where I feel I can open up to people, and I think just being able to listen to calming voices talking about things that I have to deal with in a daily basis, and then being able to vent in the comments is really great. Thank you very much. That was from Preston Chapper. That was very nice of him, Preston. Oh, it's glad that you've been able to find this place as a safe haven, or almost a cornerstone of psychological troublesome. So thank you so much, and that goes for everyone, as we said. Thank you very much, Preston. And the last comment we finally have from Dead Inside. Alright. I don't know if anybody relates to this, but I have a really quiet voice, so my friends can't hear me most of the time, but it feels like I'm being ignored. Although I have been ignored in my life by a friend, but that was years ago, and he stopped doing that. He was basically tuning me out, but he would also do it to others. In brackets, not on purpose, or I don't think so. In my opinion, I'd rather be lonely than not be heard. It's worse when you say something and nobody hears than to feel alone or be alone. Wow. That's interesting.
I understand what...
Yeah.
Yeah, I
he'd rather not go through the trouble.
I know full well about that.
He'd rather not go through the trouble and the work to have to get someone to acknowledge him, only to be kind of shut down. So he'd say he'd rather not try at all. And we obviously understand what you're saying about that, but it's important that you still try, like, in the long run. Eventually someone will, honestly. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's... I don't know if we mentioned this in the podcast, but understandably, it is worse when you're surrounded by a bunch of people who don't understand when you're just in isolation by yourself. Because I go into this in my video where you'll like be at a party and like no one even looks at you, no one notices you, no one cares. That's because then you know it's not just you being alone. It's you. It feels like it's you yourself is the very thing that's causing that loneliness. It doesn't matter what you do. You're out at a party and no one's fucking talking to you. Like we get that. But using that you have a quiet voice as like some kind of excuse is understandable. But there are ways to increase the volume of your voice by raising your voice, as many will call it. Not to undermine your problem. We understand that.
Yeah, of course. But if you make these kind of obstacles in your way, then those will be reality, honestly. So it's just a matter of, if you say you don't want to be upset, then you will be upset. If you say you want to be happy, if you say you want to be the thing you're trying to strive for, then you will be happy, honestly. You just keeping your chin up, as we said, makes a huge difference.
Yeah, the trade-off is you working towards what you want, or you sulking in your gloom because you think that you can't pull it off, which is just not true. We've gotten people to the moon. Can you seriously not just talk to someone? It's really not that hard. Like you just got to work for it.
Yeah.
It is hard, but you got to do it.
Yeah.
You can't, like, that is if you want it. If you don't think it's worth working for, then that is on you and only yourself.
Yeah.
All right. Just a bit of tough love for you. Sorry if I went too
No, that's
on you.
perfectly true. It's important that we be perfectly straightforward at times and not beat around the bush. But I think that's about it. I think thank you very much, guys, for tuning in today's podcast. We got a pretty solid 26 minutes in, and yeah, I mean, if you have any questions, if you want to talk about anything, we're going to be answering some more questions like this in the next podcast, and hopefully have someone else on the podcast. But thank you guys so very much. We love you guys.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank
we
you.
love you guys.
And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one. Signing off.
Toodles.
Toodles.